Alright, so we're about to start the World Series. Very excited. So we got our lineups looking good. And I think we should be all ready to go. So let's see, we're playing the Detroit Tigers, I believe. Here we go.
Good afternoon. This is Dave Niehaus, and welcome to the World Series. In today's game, the Chicago Cubs take on the Detroit Tigers.
Alright, so here we are in Detroit. Game 1 of the World Series. We did it, guys. We're here. Now, one of those weird lag pitches for the opening pitch. So we'll see what kind of team Detroit has. We didn't play them in the regular season because they're an American League team. That was a tough at bat. But we'll see how scary they are. See what their lineup looks like. Doesn't necessarily mean that their team is significantly scarier than like other ones, because like it wasn't a very long season, so it's hard to say. But that'll just drop in for our first hit of the game.
Batting third, the shortstop, Sean Green.
Ooh, low strike. So I'll try to see these pitches. I'll try to like. Oh, that's good. So that falls in. I don't think it's gonna score the runner, unfortunately. But we're in a very good position, and now we have Sammy Sosa up to bat. I was late on that. Oh, that sucks. But I'm just able to get back to third base without being tagged out. Alright, Dean Palmer, don't blow it. We got a chance to score early. There we go. And we do indeed score the runner, so we're on the board first.
Batting sixth, the first baseman, Gary Sheffield. Ball one.
Weird pitch. And that's probably going to be the out. But we were able to get a run on 3 hits.
Batting first, the second baseman, Chuck Knobloch.
Chuck Knobloch. So I think he's pretty good. He's a pretty good player. And I didn't see who the other two at the beginning of their lineup was. So I did make a backup save of the just before starting this World Series. So if I do blow it, I'm not gonna save between games, or at least like I'm not gonna save and reload. I mean, that would be cheating. But if I do happen to lose the World Series, then we can always go back and play it again, so that just so I can sort of demonstrate what it looks like when you win. I don't think I'm gonna lose, but you know, anything's possible. Because we did get like what, 4 losses on the season, 4 or 5 losses out of 27 games, so it's definitely possible. Like, it's not necessarily likely, but it all depends. It's gonna come down to the pitching. It's gonna come down to how difficult their pitching is. So let's hope to God that he beats that out. There we go.
Batting third, the second baseman, Darryl Hamilton. He's gone. Batting fourth, the the center fielder, Tom Goodwin.
It's gonna be off the plate.
Strike.
Strange pitch. That was gonna be a ball.
Now batting, the
Ooh, they have Jose Canseco.
Jose Canseco. Batting second,
So Jose Canseco, I remember in the draft I was considering picking him, but the thing is he has a lot of power but not much else. And like he doesn't have great batting, doesn't have great speed, and so I passed up on him for that reason. Great, nice pitching by Hideo Nomu.
Rondell White. Strike one.
I like to anthropomorphize my baseball characters a little bit and pretend that it is them that are doing well, not me playing them. There's always an element of make-believe in sports games, which is what I think makes them so appealing to me. Beyond the fact that it's just fun. That should just fall in. I thought about running to third, but I'm glad that I didn't.
Batting third, the right fielder, Sammy Sosa. Ball one.
So a home run or something would be great. I'll take it. Excellent.
Now batting, the third baseman, Dean Palmer. Strike one.
Oh. Yikes.
Now batting, the first baseman.
But that's only the first out of the inning, so we've still got a couple more chances to add some runs to the board. But he just barely scores the runner.
Batting sixth, the designated hitter, Jeff Kent. He's gone.
That's alright, we were able to add 2 more runs on.
Batter, the first baseman, Will Clark. Strike one.
I don't know who Will Clark is, but he was batting 342, so he must have pretty good stats.
Batting second, the right fielder, Eric Davis. Strike one.
I think, like, it seems like the Tigers have a pretty good team. Like, you know, they have Canseco, they have Chuck Knobloch, but, like, I'm not seeing anything super crazy so far.
Now batting, the catcher, Eddie Hubensy. Leadoff batter, the catcher, Jeff King. Batting second, the second baseman, Darryl Hamilton.
I think that'll fall in.
Batting third, the center fielder, Tom Goodwin.
Alright, well, unfortunately that gets the out at second, but we did get
Batting fourth, the
Goodwin on base.
Tim Salmon.
I just wanted to try something different there. Not a great pitch to swing at. Bottom of the fourth, Nomo's still pitching a shutout and a no-hitter.
Now batting the shortstop, Griffey Perez. Batting third, the third baseman, Chipper.
Chipper Jones is I think is a pretty good player too, from what I recall. So that's the first hit of the game for the Detroit.
Batting fourth,
And here's Canseco.
Jose Canseco.
But he swings right through it. Let's see if we can get him out at first. I don't know why I threw it second. Uh-oh. I accidentally threw him a very easy pitch to hit, but luckily he didn't capitalize on it. I think I was just a hair late on that one.
Now batting the right fielder, Sammy Sosa. Strike one.
Oof. What is that low ball?
Batting third, the third baseman, Dean Palmer.
And that's the inning. 3 up, 3 down.
Batting first, the designated hitter, Mo Bunn.
But we have enough of a lead that I'm not, like, super worried.
Strike two.
I'm gonna throw a fastball in the dirt. It actually worked.
Nowhere near it. Now batting the center fielder, Rondell White.
Uh-oh. My least favorite thing that happens in this game. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, much like in real life, right? Solo home runs, there's not much you can do. It's just like one wrongly placed pitch and one good swing and you're, you know. Some of them are bound to happen. Let's try that at that low fastball again. Wow, that actually worked again. Perhaps I finally found the trick to getting reliable strikeouts. I don't want to jump to conclusions, because nothing in this game is that easy. But we'll see. Can I sneak to third? Oh, that was very silly.
Batting second, the designated hitter, Jeff Kent. Ball one. Strike one.
The game really shouldn't let you do that. It's just a weird thing.
Batting third, the catcher, Jeff King.
No. I was watching one of the things that I quite like to do is I like to watch old, like, classic World Series on YouTube, because people will put up like full recordings of, you know, 50-year-old baseball games, and I think that's just lovely. And those people are doing God's work, they really are. But I was watching the I can't remember what year it was, like 76 or something. It was the year the Cincinnati Reds won the World Series. It was a really good World Series, and the year that they had Pete Rose, and the 70s styles, like the haircuts and the, you know, the way everyone looks is so incredibly funny. I love it. I really love it. Like Pete Rose looks like He-Man, essentially. Looks like a version of He-Man, and like some of the other guys have like really these really intense sideburns, like pointy sideburns and stuff. It was so funny. I think we've, as I've talked about before, we've seen somewhat of a resurgence in mustaches recently as like a, you know, a popular facial hairstyle. It really reminds me of the 70s. Not that I was alive in the 70s. So this is nice. We've been able to rally and get a bunch of runs.
Batting ninth, the third baseman, Dean Palmer.
It's a strong start to the World Series here. But again, like every game is its own beast. Like, and as I always say, it's entirely dependent on how difficult the pitching is and how well I'm seeing the ball. I think it's often my hitting is dependent on those two factors. Okay, well, we have, I would say, a comfortable lead. I like the name Eddie. Both my grandfather and my cat are named Eddie. And no, that was not intentional. My cat came with that name, and I thought it was very cute, so I didn't change it.
Now batting, the shortstop, Griffey. Batting first, the catcher, Jeff King.
Over the right fielder's head, should be able to get to second. I keep thinking that Jeff King is slow because he's my catcher, and like I've been, you know, conditioned to think that all catchers on my team are slow, forgetting the fact that in this particular instance I specifically drafted someone who was not a catcher to be my catcher because of the speed thing. So I keep thinking, oh, he's slow, and then I'm like, well, he's not actually. He has very much average speed, slightly. But every time he's on base, I'm like, oh, he's so slow. And oh, wow, that was a good pitch.
Batting fourth, the left fielder, Tim Salmon.
Good contact, but that will be the third out of the inning.
Batting first, the third baseman, Chipper Jones.
Nomo's already tired, so we will pull him after this out.
Batting second, the left.
So I think it doesn't really matter who I put in because we're so far ahead. So let's put in Jason Christensen.
Now pitching, Jason Christensen. Strike. Strike two.
And let's see if that low fastball is going to work again. Not that time, although he did have trouble swinging at it.
Batting third, the designated hitter, Mo Vaughn. Strike. Out. Batting first, the shortstop, Sean Green.
It would be interesting if we had any injuries happen during the World Series.
Batting second, the right fielder, Sammy Sosa. Ball one.
But it doesn't seem like it happens very often. And to be honest, I thought that injuries were going to be a much bigger factor than they ended up being. Because so far they have not been a factor at all.
Third baseman, Dean Palmer.
Oops.
Out. They'll need a comeback of titanic proportions.
They sure will.
Now batting, the first baseman, Will Clark. Strike. Batting third, the right fielder, Eric Davis. Out. Now playing left field, Johnny Davis.
They have Johnny Damon on their bench?
Leadoff batter,
I don't understand. I don't understand how the computer makes its lineup decisions. I mean, I guess Johnny Damon isn't like a all-star, but he's a, you know, he's a good player. I mean, or was he an all-star? Maybe there was a time when he was. I know that in this year, in '98, he wasn't like.
batting second, the designated hitter, Jeff Kent.
He wasn't like, you know, Alex Rodriguez level. Oh fuck!
Jeff got him.
I love how my runner jumped up and down in frustration and anger. That's funny.
Batting fourth, the second baseman, Darryl Hamilton. Out.
Crunch time.
Batting first, the catcher, Eddie Hubbinsey. Strike one. Batting second, the second baseman, Chuck Knobloch. He's gone. Batting third, the shortstop, Napi Perez.
Like whoever Napi Perez is, I feel like Johnny Damon's got to be better than him.
The Chicago
Anyway, there we go.
play with a win.
Major League Baseball at its finest.
That's game 1 of the World Series. We did quite well on that one, I would say. "19 hits, 9 runs, no home runs, but everyone hit pretty well. Except for Kent and Goodwin. And we gave up just that one solo home run. Our pitching was good. Their pitching was not very good. Great. Yeah, there's game 1. So let's save. I'm gonna also do my backup save. Okay. So we're going to be playing Detroit again. It's going to be a night game away. And then after that we get 2 more home games. So it's possible for us to... I mean, we can win in 4. I believe that's how it works. And who is going to be pitching this next game? It's going to be Baldwin. Sure. Here we go, game 2.
Good evening. This is Dave Niehaus, and welcome to the World Series. In tonight's game,
I just wanted him to say the World Series. Alright, who they got pitching this time? D. Cone. Or is it Kone? I don't remember. Ooh, just missed it.
batting second, the left fielder, Tim Salmon.
I have a pretty good knowledge of, you know, baseball players and baseball history generally. Nothing doing in this first inning. But like, my knowledge definitely is very, like, is patchy. Uh-oh, that's not good. Need to focus here. Oh boy, that went deep, deep, deep in the outfield. So, like, you know, I know a lot about, well, this year of baseball in particular. And I know a lot about, like, I don't know, the 2000s era, late 2000s, because that's when I was, like, religiously watching baseball. I had a very old, very crummy box TV in my room when I was a kid, and I would, in the evening, I would watch baseball games. Usually it was the Blue Jays. It's the only, because I only had one sports channel. Ooh, that's not good. So we can get out of this inning here. Thank God that wasn't a home run. Jesus. Yeah, we had... So this was before the days of, like, you know... You could... I don't even know how TV works. Like, before the days of having multiple different sports streaming services and, like, you know... So I only had one channel, one sports channel, and they would often show Blue Jays games. So I became very familiar with the... not hitting great so far. I became very familiar with the Blue Jays in, like, 2007 to 2011, roughly. And by extension, I knew a lot about, like, American League East teams. So I was going back and I was watching... Ooh. I was going back and I was watching, like, you know, 2009, 2008 World Series. And I was like, I know all these guys, because all I did was watch baseball in this period of time. It's very strange. So there's some compartment in my brain that, like, you know, 15 years later remembers the names of, like, you know, the shortstop that played for, I don't know, Tampa Bay in 2009, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. And it's like, that's such a weird thing to remember, like, it, you know. But those were the days back when, you know, no adult responsibilities. Oof. Pitching has been bad, I would say. My pitching has been bad, and then also their pitching's been hard to hit. So that doesn't bode very well for the... I mean, I don't want to... I mean, I've got 4 hits, so... Oh, wait, no, they've got 4 hits. Uh-oh. I'm just a little bit late on that one. And, like, you know, by the time I was really into watching baseball, almost none of the guys in this era were still playing. Like, a few of them were, like Alex Rodriguez, who I don't like, and Oh shit, that was close.
Batting third, the catcher.
A few other guys like Miguel Tejada.
He hit the cover off.
Nice. That was a very
Say goodbye.
timely home run. We needed that. Who was that? Jeff King.
Batting fourth, the center fielder, Tom Goodwin. Strike.
Manny Ramirez was also still playing. I will never forget. This memory is like burned into my brain. I was watching a Boston Red Sox game,
Batting first,
and
second baseman.
Manny Ramirez came up to bat. The pitch was literally at his toes. Like they gave him this crummy, I don't even know what it was, like some breaking ball that went right down to his feet. And he reached down and he like golf swung and he hit it and he got a home run. And I was like, are you kidding me? Who hits that? Who even hits that? Like it was essentially in the dirt and he just reached down and hit it for a home run. And that's the kind of thing that like Shohei does, right? He can hit anything. Why did I swing? It's a kind of talent that is just like, you know, you don't have words to describe that kind of thing. There we go.
Batting second, the shortstop, Sean Green. Ball one.
It was like a pitch like that, like in the dirt, and I was like, no way anybody could hit that, let alone get a home run off it. Like it was outstanding.
Batting third, the right fielder, Sammy Sosa.
That's unfortunately going to be a pop out.
He's gone. Now batting, the third baseman, Dean Palmer. Ball one.
Great RBI single.
Now batting, the first baseman, Gary Sheffield. He's gone.
We're up by 2 runs in the bottom of the fourth.
Batting first, the left fielder, Jose
What's-
Canseco.
Oy oy oy.
Batting second, the designated hitter.
I certainly have a very deep, clearly a very deep love for baseball. And it's hard to explain to non-sports fans sometimes like why it even matters. It's like, but it just does. It just seems to. I don't know what it is.
Strike three. Now batting, the center fielder, Rondell White. Strike.
I can kind of understand though, because like I'm sure many people feel the way about baseball that I feel about, like, I don't know, badminton or something. Like if someone showed me a badminton game and was like,
Batting second, the
this is the best badminton game that's ever been played, I would probably be like, okay, I'll take your word for it. I think any sport, no matter what it is, that's played at a high level is impressive, like inherently. Like no matter if it's, ping pong, badminton, whatever it is, like it's impressive. It's really impressive. And I can see that, but it's hard to be emotionally invested in, And I think growing up with something, especially if you grew up playing something, really just lends it another sort of dimension.
now batting, the first baseman, Will Clark.
Going and gone.
That baby's in orbit.
Not ideal.
Now batting the right fielder, Eric Davis.
So we do not have much of a lead. So
Batting third, the catcher.
I'm even considering pulling Baldwin because for some reason they're just hitting him really well.
Batting fourth, the second baseman, Chuck Knobloch.
He's not my ace. If it even matters, I don't know. Like, there's not... At the same time, there's not much of a difference between Baldwin and, like, any of the other starters, right? Like, he's 7'6". There's not much of a difference there. I don't know. I don't know how much it makes a difference.
Batting second, the shortstop, Sean Green.
Oh, man. Nah. Oh.
Batting third, the
I love how, like...
Sammy Sosa.
I love how unrealistic the errors are. It's like, he's like, oh no, I dropped it. I don't know, it's the funniest thing in the world to me. The way that they animated it. There we go. I wasn't sure if I wanted to run, but I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it, because, like, we're not ahead by very much here.
Batting fifth, the first baseman, Gary Sheffield. Ball one.
Ooh, it's actually gonna drop. But were they playing deep? There is a function that allows you to change your, like, I forget what the actual term is for it is, but like there's a function that allows you to have your outfielders play deeper or shallower, and also infielders too. I don't use it. I don't think it really matters, but the I wonder if the computer uses it. Never really thought about it. I think it's... I forget what button it is, and I might not have it mapped to my Xbox controller, but you can have, like, you can have them go, like, infield in or whatever.
Strike three.
Beautiful.
And a big swing for strike three. Ball one. Batting third, the left fielder, Jose Canseco.
Great, so if we can just hold this lead, we will be okay.
Batting second, the catcher, Jeff King. Out. Now batting, the center fielder, Tom Goodwin.
That was a good hit. I'm not going to be able to do that sneaky going to third base thing
Now batting,
off of that particular hit.
Tim Salmon.
Not quite, but I'll have him run just in case.
Batting first, the designated hitter, Mo Vaughn. Batting Batting second, the center fielder. Rondell White.
No! Ah! Shit. So that was a case where I thought that it was going to go to the pitcher, so I started running the wrong direction. It's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. We're not really in a place where we can afford to... Okay, I'm gonna put in my best reliever. It occurs to me that... Nice. It occurs to me that perhaps I should have just invested in a better, like, main reliever. Because my best guy is like 7 speed, 7 control, but that's not great. But it's the eternal question of, well, how much does it actually matter? I don't know the answer.
Now batting the catcher, Eddie.
Shit. Oh, yeah, that's gonna score the runner. So they've closed the gap on us a little bit. It's getting a little bit tense. Off the plate. And that'll be caught.
Batting second, the right fielder, Sammy Sosa.
Ugh. Frustrating.
Batting third, the third baseman, Dean Palmer.
Three up, 3 down. I was a little bit impatient, and I think that's what got me in that inning. Excuse me.
Batting second, the third baseman, Chipper Jones. Strike.
Okay, so trying to once again be careful about where I'm putting my pitches. Let's hit him with the dirt fastball. That seems to be a pitch that the computer generally has trouble hitting. I wonder what'll happen if I just keep throwing it. Ugh, I'm not making good decisions with my swinging.
Batting second, the designated hitter, Jeff Kent. Ball one.
Had a protein bar for breakfast because I felt lazy, and I don't know what it is with those things, but almost without exception they make me feel sick like half an hour after eating them. So I'm just sitting here right now and I'm like, ugh. I'm trying to focus. I'm not saying it's the protein bar's fault that I'm not hitting very well, but I'm not saying it's not the protein bar's fault. So that's a double at least. It's probably all the sugar they pack in those things. I used to work with this guy who was like a huge bodybuilder, and I told him that, like, yeah, you know, I was thinking about, you know, doing some strength training, and like sometimes I have protein bars, and he was like, those things are horrible, they have so much sugar in them. And I was like, well, okay, but Let me have my protein bar. But no, he's actually right. They do have a lot of sugar in them. It's probably why they make me feel sick. He was a very interesting guy. I was working at a Middle Eastern restaurant, and I would always walk into the back, and he would be like, he would be carbo loading like a giant plate of rice and chicken, and then he would tell me that he was carbo loading, and I would be like, "That's cool." I liked him. I mean, I got along with him. He had a big personality. And I think he didn't understand me, like, because I don't know. You know, sometimes you have a friend and it's like you don't really understand each other, but you still get along. That was kind of the kind of friendship that it was. Anyway, game 2, we squeak out the win, just barely. Excuse me, some decent pitching. And their pitching was tricky enough, but we were able to get it. So, 2 games, 2 wins, save it. And I'll also do my little backup save. And let's keep playing. Let's see if we can maybe get this done. Game 3, this should be a home game, I believe. Yep.
Good evening. This is Dave Niehaus, and welcome to the World Series. In tonight's game, the Detroit Tigers take on the Chicago Cubs.
Millwood had a good year, 6-0 and a .88 ERA. Alright, so game 3 of the World Series, we're back home at Wrigley Field. We're in our pinstripes again to assert dominance over the non-pinstriped. That time I thought the catcher was going to get it, so I ran backwards. You can still hear the national anthem faintly playing in the background. I think they need to talk to their organist about timing. I don't think I'm going to be able to leg that one out. No, not quite.
Batting second, the left fielder, Tim Salmon. Batting third, the shortstop, Sean Green. Ball 1.
Who's pitching against me right now? R. Helling. I don't know that pitcher. I guess I don't have a great knowledge of like the pitchers of this season of baseball. Like I know the big ones like Pettit and Schilling and Carpenter.
Batting first, the first baseman, Mo Vaughn.
I think didn't Kurt Schilling eventually get in trouble for steroids or something? Can't remember. I might be wrong. I guess like many of the guys playing in this era, you know, were on steroids. Sosa, McGuire, obviously, Barry Bonds. Great. It really is sad. I just find it so sad because regardless of steroids, these guys are phenomenally talented, right? Like they would have been excellent, even if they hadn't felt the need to do that, right? It's just too bad, because then it sort of, it taints your legacy. But also it's true that it's the guys who are exceptional that have the most scrutiny on them, because like, so in a certain sense it's almost like, well, everyone probably was taking steroids, or at least a lot of them were, but it's the guys who got, you know, the guys like Maguire and Sosa who, and Barry Bonds, who really like were under the spotlight.
Batting first, the right fielder, Eric Davis. Strike one.
And the other thing is like, yeah, like steroids help you hit home runs, but I don't know how much they help with like, you know, defensive playing and like instincts and well, clearly they don't help with like things like instincts and whatnot, but like, it's just too bad that we live in that kind of world where where it's so competitive that you have to do that to your body.
Now batting, the catcher, Jeff King. Now batting, the pitcher, Kevin Millwood.
Why do I feel like I can never, like I can't hit as well when I'm in home games? Maybe that's just a psychological thing. Close, but not quite.
Batting first, the shortstop, Griffey. Strike one. Batting second, the third baseman, Chipper Jones. Strike.
Oof. Uh-oh.
He belted it.
Well, that's the first run of the game, and Detroit is on the board first.
Now batting, the first baseman, Mo Vaughn.
So I have a little bit of catching up to do.
The left fielder, Jose Canseco. Strike. Batting first, the left fielder.
All right.
Ball one. Ball two.
I'm gonna do what my hitting coach told me many years ago. I'm gonna watch the ball coming out of the pitcher's hand. It actually works. Why does that work so well? Okay. I should have been too. Guess that's why he said it. Oh, it's always so tempting to swing on that 3-0 fish. Okay. Watch the ball coming out of his hand.
Take your base.
Thank you, Gary.
Batting second.
Gary was the name of my Little League coach. Who is that? Can I steal with him? Probably. Uh-oh.
Batting third, the right fielder, Sammy Sosa.
Drop, 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 drop. Just barely.
Now batting, the third baseman, Dean Palmer.
Ugh. Oh boy. So if he'd thrown to second and then first, it might have been a double play, but he chose to throw to third instead for some incomprehensible reason. No! Okay. Well, still, we were able to get some hits that inning. So I think that's progress. But we got to be very careful about the pitching here, because I don't want to fall further behind.
Strike three. Batting second, the right fielder, Eric Davis. Strike one.
Got him.
Batting third, the catcher,
Uh-oh. I had a problem with my joystick there. There we go. Okay, time to get some offense. Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. I guess it was at the belt. Drop, drop, drop. Yes.
Batting second, the catcher, J.R. King.
Oh no, that's the worst thing that could have happened. At least he legged it out.
Batting third, the pitcher, Kevin Millwood.
Oh, I should have had him running. Why didn't I have him running? Shit. Well, we narrowly avoided the end of the inning anyways.
Batting, the center fielder, Tom Goodwin. Ball one.
Yeah, I should have had the guy on first just start running, but I was too caught up looking at the bunt. I forgot. I could put in a pinch runner. Let's do it.
Pinch running, Randy Wynn. Strike two.
Okay, that was low, but fine. Oh man, that would have been a ball. Very frustrating. Okay. So, we're gonna have to put in a reliever. Let's do Stan Belinda.
Now batting, the pitcher, Rick Hilling. Strike one. Strike.
I figured out, I understand about I was confused last time about why there was suddenly a DH in my lineup, and it's because, I guess in the World Series, I didn't know this, but if you're playing in the American League teams home stadium, then you need a DH, but if you're playing at your home stadium, then you have your pitchers hitting, which makes sense. But I didn't realize that. I just forgot or something. I don't know. Or I think actually I just never really realized that that was what the rule was. Okay. What? Oh, okay. So in that case, I guess there was no one covering third base, so he didn't throw. That makes sense. I was confused. I was wondering why he didn't throw. Nah. Starting to be a little concerned. Watch the ball coming out of his hand. I was late on that. 101? Come on. Drop, 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 drop. Just barely. Just barely. No! Ah. Awful.
The pitchers are on their game. Strike.
But they've still only got that 1-run lead, so all we need is like a solo home run or something.
Batting second, the center fielder. Right. Strike.
Just got it.
Batting third, the right fielder, Eric Davis.
Great catch. Bottom of the 7th.
First baseman, Gary Sheffield. Strike
Oh
one.
man. I mean, this pitcher's gotta be getting tired soon. That was high. Cannot seem to figure out this pitching.
Batting second, the second baseman, Darryl Hamilton.
That was inside, but is it gonna... Yes! Barely squeaked through.
Batting third, the catcher, Jeff King.
Let it fall, yes! Sometimes the computer does that, and I'm very glad that it did.
Batting fourth, the pitcher, Stan Belinda.
Oh, yes! Okay, that felt good. That felt fabulous.
Batting fifth, the center fielder, Tom Goodwin.
Great hit. Great hit. He's gonna probably throw to home plate so I can sneak to second. Wonderful.
Batting sixth, the left fielder, Tim Salmon.
Low, unfortunately, and I swung. But it's okay, because we still tied it up.
Batting first, the catcher, Eddie Taubensee.
Yeah, bunting just felt like the right thing there because that was our pitcher. And I knew that I had a fast guy.
Hitting, Will
A fast guy at third. So I got lucky that the bunt was fair. I don't know if like batting skill, the batting stat affects how effective your bunts are, really, I don't know. But it just happened to work that time. And I mean, like, we are still ahead by 2 games in the World Series. But, you know, we're 2-0, so it's like, it's not critical that we win this game. But I would like to. Evidently. New pitcher. Let's see what he gives us. That was a strike. And the third baseman let it fall over his head. So let's see if we can't steal the base. Oh, that was really close. It's the out, and I'm not gonna tag up. Oh, please. I know desire causes suffering, but please. Oh, that's brutal. That is brutal. Hey. Okay. Sometimes when you're leading off, the computer will chase you down like that. That would have been so nice if we could have just gotten that. I'm not going to be able to score, sadly. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a tie ball game.
Unfortunate, but still, we're tied. So we're out of immediate danger anyways. Huh.
Batting second, the first baseman, Mo Bun.
Turn the double play. Yes.
They got 2.
Crunch time.
Great, so let's see if we can score on him. We had that aggravating almost home run. Fuck. Which was slightly spirit breaking, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on. I deserve this. Please. Please. Ah! Ah, man, that is rough. Shake it off, shake it off. Oh, God. Oh, Lord Almighty. Have mercy on me. Okay. I didn't mean to put in Carpenter there. I just wasn't paying attention. So that's okay.
Now batting, the right fielder, Eric Davis. Strike 1.
So Detroit is not letting us run away with this one easily. If that had been a home run, I swear to God, I would have lost it a little bit.
see. Strike one. Strike two.
Oh, no, 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 no. I better not score. It's not gonna score. Yikes. This is not good.
Strike. Strike three.
Good.
Batting fifth, the second baseman, Chuck Knobloch.
So... Okay, we just barely got out of the inning.
Now pitching, Eric Plunk.
Eric Plunk.
Now batting, the left fielder.
What a name.
Salmon.
Great. Good start. Good start. Nice. I love when he throws a strike right off the bat like that.
Batting second, the shortstop, Sean Green. Ball one.
Eric Plunk is a great name. I'm gonna definitely file that away for making a player in the future. Okay. Because you can put any name that you want when you're making a created player.
Say goodbye.
Oh, yes! Oh, legendary.
Home with one swing.
Oh, that's nice.
The Chicago Cubs come away.
Beautiful. Sammy Sosa,
Major League
our
Baseball
hero.
is all about.
I agree, that was an intense game. So that's game 3 of the World Series. Beautiful. Clutch home run. Wonderful. So we're going into game 4. I'm just gonna make sure to save it first. Alright, well, I'll catch you in the next one.